नमस्कार, मैं यशिका। आप देख रहे हैं हिंदुस्तान दर्पण। इस समय हम मौजूद हैं नेहरू प्लेस के इनॉक्स में, जहां पर एक विलन रिटर्न्स की पूरी स्टार कास्ट हमारे साथ मौजूद है। अर्जुन कपूर, जॉन इब्राहिम, दिशा पाटनी और तारा सुतारिया किसी कारण नहीं आ पाई, लेकिन पूरी स्टार कास्ट से आज हम बात करेंगे, मूवी को लेकर बातचीत करेंगे और जानेंगे कैसी मूवी इनकी खास रही है और क्या कुछ पूरी स्टार कास्ट का मूवी को लेकर कहना है।
पोस्ट किया था जो कि देखने में आया था, उसके बाद आप एकदम से कुछ टाइम के लिए प्रमोशन में नहीं दिख रहे थे. So did you missed promoting the movie with all of the star cast?
Yeah, totally. I really missed it. I went for my film shoot, Tehran. I came back and I'm so happy with the positive response, and we wish Tara was here. She's not well. But I feel so good that my producers are here. एक एक्टर को बहुत अच्छा लगता है जब उनके जो producers है साथ में होते हैं. So it's a feeling of confidence. So I think Ishika and Bhushan being here, it feels really, really nice. And of course, having Disha and Arjun here feels really good because the whole unit is together.
That's great. Next, I wanna please.
आपकी फोटो बहुत अच्छी है हमारे विलेन के नए स्टारकास्ट में तो जो है स्टैंड ऑन इज बेटर. अभी शुरू किया खड़े होके तो खड़े रहे, मेहनत बेचारे की नहीं माता हो यार. जॉन सर के बाइसेप्स काफी सारे उठा लिए.
Or you were also seen singing at the Ek Villain Returns music concert with Ankit Tiwari, which was so great to see that surprising talent of yours. अभी तक कहाँ छुपा के रखा है?
Okay, it's not talent. I was a background singer. Ankit Tiwari is the real singer. So the minute he was singing, I really started enjoying, and Arjun, Disha on stage, बहुत मजा आया. So I just started singing with him, and it was a great time. I've sung a song with Ankit in my film Rocky Handsome. It's a song called Alfazo Ki Tarah. So he took me into the studio and he made me sing, and I realized it's a tough job.
Indeed, whatever you're doing, that also that is even a tough job. That requires a lot of talent. All of you guys that you guys doing an amazing job. Can we have a huge round of applause?
नहीं बोलना ना.
All right. Question for Arjun sir. In the
जी बोलिए.
प्रमोशनल वीडियोस में देखा गया है कि आपने बहुत ज्यादा टाइम निकाला है एक्स्ट्रा फॉर द फैंस, टेकिंग सेल्फीज, वीडियोस एंड गिविंग देम मोर टाइम. सो हाउ आर फैंस मोर इम्पोर्टेंट टू यू?
फैंस रही तो हम नहीं है. देखिए, हम बनाते हैं फिल्में इसलिए ताकि लोग हमारे काम को सराहे, हमारी फिल्मों का सराहे. We are because of them. And they have every right to want to spend that one moment with us. अगर मैं एक फोटो दे सकता हूँ किसी को, उनकी जिंदगी में एक बार मिलूंगा, एटलीस्ट वो उनके लिए यादगार रहे. Each photo taken, I feel as a ticket sold not for this film, but कहीं ना कहीं जाके काम आती है, because एक पॉजिटिव इमोशन रहता है आपका. हम हर बार नहीं सेटिस्फाई कर पाते सबको, because भाग दौड़ होती है, धक्का मुक्की होती है, लेकिन जितना हो सके. And I'm not saying this because I'm promoting. 2-3 साल हम घर के बाहर ज्यादा नहीं निकल पाए. We were not able to interact with the people that have made us who we are. And if you get a small chance like we did yesterday, or even day before, or even today when we are at the airport, हम चल रहे थे, आज मैं दिशा बाहर निकल रहे थे और एक बंदा आया, उसने बोला यार आपकी पिक्चर जरूर चलेगी, ट्रेलर में बहुत अच्छा लगा. अब एक एक्टर ने 1.5 साल मेहनत की है, उसे और क्या सुनना है? यही सुनना है. अब वो पूछता फोटो के पहले, उसके पहले मैं और दिशा खड़े होकर हमको उसको फोटो देते. एंड दैट्स फॉर मी, दैट इज द कनेक्ट दैट यू फील. दैट इज व्हाट यू फील ना, कि यार इतना ही तो चाहिए आपको. थोड़ा सा प्यार मिलता है तो और भी अच्छा फील.
Exactly, that connect, because that picture would probably be with that person for his entire life.
But the best part is उसने उस नियत से नहीं बोला था, हम बस जा रहे थे और उसने बोला था, But and that is something, that is where you feel so humbled about the fact that not everybody always wants a photo. They're also well wishers, and that is why at least I love fans or people that like our work for that reason also, because there's something very nice about, even when you're having a bad day, you meet the right fan, it can change the way you feel about even the profession for that movie.
Completely agreed. How do you feel with those overwhelming feeling with so much of love given all around?
मुझे थोड़ी कम आदत है पिछले कई सालों से, तो अच्छा लग रहा है. No, in all seriousness, like I said, हमारी फिल्म के ट्रेलर को पहले दिन से जब हम मुंबई में लॉन्च कर रहे थे, मीडिया रिएक्टेड सो पॉजिटिवली. बोथ आवर सॉन्ग्स when they came out, Galia, Dil and now Shamat and Haji, all the 4 songs have ended up connecting with the people. When we are making a film, we don't know how the audience will react. We only pray and we only believe that yes, we know the pulse of the audience, and just the fact that reaction itna positive aaya in all the songs and all in the trailer, it does feel overwhelming because it's a new time, right? You're coming, meeting people on ground now when they're doing events, when they're traveling. It really feels amazing that the film is something that's getting people excited for the trailer. It's not just कि बोलने के लिए बोल रहे, trailer देख के, गाने देख के, आज आगे से लोग बोलते हैं they're excited about the film, and that's a very overwhelming feeling for me as an actor right now.
That's great. Can we have a huge round of applause?
मानती है कि लालच अच्छी बला है और लालची है और कुछ लालच के लिए वो कुछ भी करेगी.
That's great. Can we have a huge round of applause for Ekta ma'am? फिल्म का बस जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है, लाइकिंग बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ रही है और लोग बहुत ज्यादा एक्साइटेड हैं ऑलरेडी. सो व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से अबाउट दैट?
So as we've seen recently, कि getting somebody to buy a 200 rupees ticket and come to the theater when they can see the film a few months later on an OTT platform is the big challenge today. So the buzz is great, but we all look forward to Friday. But then one very good thing about Ek Villain Returns is it is a theatrical experience. From the 2 men fighting to the suspense to every scene and to the new version of Galia in the theater. I don't think this can be enjoyed unless you're sitting with your friends or family and clapping, because what is important in a film today, एक पिक्चर के लिए बहुत important है कि वो एक communal viewing का एक माहौल create करे कि आप फैमिली के साथ जाओ, दोस्तों के साथ जाओ, अपने डेट के साथ जाओ, तो आपको ये थिएटर में एंजॉय करने को मिले. ऐसा नहीं लगे कि खत्म होने के बाद कि यार घर पे देख लेते हैं कुछ महीने बाद. सो विलेन वो फिल्म है कि आप थिएटर में जाएंगे तो आपको पैसा वसूल एंटरटेनमेंट मिलेगा.
Ekta, you should come for every press conference. हम लॉकअप में जाते हैं, आप प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस.
और भूषण सर, मूवी के पार्ट्स लाना, भूल भुलैया अमेजिंग मूवी, भूल भुलैया 2 सुपर हिट ब्लॉकबस्टर. Now we had Ek Villain which went amazing. Now we have Ek Villain again. What are your expectations from this movie?
See, I don't expect too much, but इस फिल्म में क्योंकि ये फ्रेंचाइज फिल्म है एंड पीपल आर ऑलरेडी लविंग द ट्रेलर एंड द सॉन्ग्स एंड ऑल, तो मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि ये लोग थिएटर में देखने फिल्म आएंगे, क्योंकि आजकल जैसा एकता ने बताया लोगों को थिएटर तक लाने के लिए you really need to excite them, and today I'm very happy the kind of promotion all the actors have done and day night travel करके जो उन्होंने promotion करी है, तो ये लोगों को थिएटर तक जरूर लेके आ रहे हैं और लोग थिएटर तक आएंगे तो आई एम वेरी श्योर कि ये फिल्म को लोग आके बहुत पसंद करेंगे और बार बार देखेंगे, एंड वी आर होपिंग फॉर दैट ओनली.
Amazing. Can we have a huge round of applause? And once again, the huge round of applause for everybody here who've been joining us here. Can we have a huge round of applause for the entire star cast, please? All right, we have questions open for the media.
शैलेश जी, आप ही पूछ लीजिए सवाल. साइन भी नहीं करना है.
Hello everyone, Karan this side.
Sorry, we didn't get what's your name? Karan, Arjun.
It was your name. Yes, so my question to everyone कि जैसे कि आप लोग मतलब जितने भी स्टार कास्ट इस मूवी के उन्होंने अभी तक सारे पॉजिटिव रोल करे हैं, तो ऐसा विलन का जो ये रोल है ये कितना चैलेंजिंग था आपके लिए करना? नहीं, उसके बाद तो कितने सारे इन्होंने पॉजिटिव रोल करे हैं. सत्यमेव जयते की सारी मूवीज देखी हैं.
हाल ही में.
हाँ, इनको देख के मैंने बाइसेप्स का साइज भी अपना बढ़ाया.
इनको देख के लोगों ने जिम जाना छोड़ दिया, बोला हमसे ना हो पाएगा. नहीं मेरी पहली फिल्म की शुरुआत जब मैं ग्रे शेड्स कर चुका हूँ इशक ज़ादे में, जब आप फिल्म की अगर इंटरवल को याद करोगे जिस तरह मैं बर्ताव करता हूँ एक परिणति के साथ, आई थिंक देयर वर ग्रे शेड्स इन दैट, औरंगजेब में ग्रे शेड्स थे। हाँ, पर इतना एक कैरेक्टर निभाना जो अपने आप डार्क होना चाहता है, ही वांट्स टू बी हेटेड। मेरे किरदार का एक थॉट ही वही है कि मरना चलेगा, हारना नहीं। So he's okay being the villain in people's life. So for me, yes, for me it is the most extreme version of playing, I would say, grey. But at the same time, that's the excitement है यार कि लोगों ने पहली फिल्म में ग्रे शेड में पसंद किया था, वो उसमें थोड़ा रोमांस आ गया था एंड में। यहाँ पे आउट एंड आउट ग्रे करना with the conflict and with the twists and turns, I think that's taking it to a newer level for me. So I think John is a better person to answer where doing it after a long time is concerned. John, how did you enjoy doing a villain after a long time?
Well, I think, I mean, मेरी पहली फिल्म जो थी, it was also a grey shade. उसके बाद धूम, उसके बाद जिंदा. New York was a different kind of a villain in a way, a grey shade. Taxi 911 was also very different in a way. तो ऐसी काफी फिल्म्स थी मेरी जो I think I played a grey shade, and I think normal is boring. I think here it's interesting because you have 4 characters playing so many different shades. तो ये फिल्म जब भी मैंने देखी इस फिल्म को, I found it very interesting, even though I was a part of it. So I think in my books, I think the audience will really enjoy who done it. लेकिन at the same time, I think like Arjun rightly said also, and Disha ने अभी जो बताया कि it's not just about the villains, it's a journey. क्यों villain बने ये लोग? I think it's everything put together that makes this film very, very interesting.
Hi guys, myself Yatin, and
I don't know. I first of all, I don't know what Korean Mr. Kiyaki is watching, but you know more than I do. Hello, Seema. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, Ekta.
Thank you.
One group picture.
One group picture.
Wait. Yeah, look sir. भाई ये कौन है कैमरा? सचिन क्या हो गया? Thank you.
यहाँ ये इतनी जल्दी क्यों जा रही हैं?
I can't believe you asked me about Kiyaki.
I can't believe she stayed back also.
Bye, Ekta. See you. Bye.
Have a safe flight.
जय माता दी।
Hi everyone, Seema Dhawan over here.
Yes.
Hey. Arjun, you look amazing in this look.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
In fact, everybody's looking great. My question is for everybody. If you can share your action sequences with us.
You want us to perform the action?
In case if you...
No, I think that would be to my help. Have you seen John's bicep? His one finger is enough. The experience of doing
The experience,
action.
yeah.
So I think मैंने ये मुंबई में भी कहा था मैम. I think firstly we should give a lot of credit to the people that work behind the scenes to make us feel safe and comfortable as 2 actors going face to face. That's very, very important. But if I may share a small experience of working with John Abraham, who I was an assistant on Salamesh. Then I did a film where Bhushan sir and John were my producers called Sardar Ka Grandson, jo aane ka hai. And today I work with him as an actor. So I think life has come a full circle for me. I know him from knocking on his door and saying, John, shot ready. And he used to call me and say, Baba, come sit. How are you doing? To now saying, okay, stand, I have to beat you up. It's come a long way. If I may say so, as a young actor, you look up to your seniors or somebody who's so experienced with action or intense performances in that space to give you some kind of connect, so you don't end up trying to be overzealous and going to try and impress your colleague, at that point. And I think the first thing John did, we started only with action. It was quite, the train, the subway fight that you're seeing, that was our principally first day of work together. And we did a basic rehearsal and we understood what's happening. And then he was just standing there and there was chaos happening, shooting ke pehle, action ke pehle, 100 log bhag rahe the. He just took me aside, he said, you know what, we need to make sure we give the best shot, but we should not be injuring each other. Do not do so much that there are repercussions that both of us suffer because of. So we will do one more take if need be. But don't go out of your way to make the shot work by overextending yourself, because that's detriment. Just the fact that somebody takes out that 2 minutes before, he's supposed to hate me, I'm supposed to hate him. Just the fact that he can give me that warmth and connect makes me secure going on set, knowing that this guy's got my back. And I don't need to impress him or anybody on the set saying I'm capable of standing up to John Abraham. I think I was able to stand up to John Abraham because he was gracious enough to allow me to be comfortable on a set in a domain that he owns. So I think, thank you, John, for that even small gesture. So for me, action is that. It's the comfort of the choreography, of having your stunt team around. So when we did action in this film, both of us have to hate each other, but it came from a place of love. If it's as ironical as it sounds, I think it came out of mutual respect for the profession that we're in, and for the fact that Mohit was very clear who क्या चाहते थे action से. Yeah.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, so just, I think we also give credit to Ejaz, who's our action director. It's fantastic. And Kecha, who I've worked with in probably a film that I really enjoyed called Rocky Hansen, where my action was. So I think the subway fight was Kecha, the other fights were Ejaz, and they were both fantastic. And I think you'll be surprised, it's not only the boys, I mean, also Arjun is very, very proficient in action, and I think he needs to do a lot more action films in the future. You know, he'll slowly get there to a point where he'll be like, you know, he convinces the audience when he throws in a punch, and that's important for an action hero. क्योंकि मैं हमेशा समझता हूँ life में कि action is not about the body, it's about the attitude. It's this is action. It's this attitude. So I think he's got great attitude, and the girls also, you'll be very impressed with what they've done in the film. Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm Deepika from News 18.
Sorry, बिल्कुल लाइट के साथ.
अच्छा.
नहीं आप बोलिए.
तो एक विलेन वो फिल्म है जिसको हमने बिना किसी एक्सपेक्टेशन के फर्स्ट पार्ट में देखा था, और ये 2022 जो चल रहा है ये 2 फ्रेंचाइजीज के लिए काफी अच्छा साबित हुआ है. तो एक तो इसके लिए आप लोग कितने होपफुल हैं, और दूसरा पहले में हमने जब फिल्म देखी थी तो उसमें एक ऐसा सस्पेंस था जो शॉकिंग था. इसमें ट्रेलर में ही हमें बहुत सारे सस्पेंस सामने दिख रहे हैं कि 2 हीरो जो हैं वो भले ही आपस में विलेन और हीरो खेल रहे हैं, लेकिन हीरोइनें कुछ अलग ही कमाल करने वाली है इस ट्रेलर में. तो ये जो सस्पेंस सारा आपने हमें ट्रेलर में बता दिया है, इसके अलावा फिल्म में कितना कुछ बचा है?
आप आइए ना 20 जुलाई को. क्या कर रही है?
जी बिल्कुल, मैं आने वाली हूँ.
हाँ, तो आप आइए और ये सारे सवालों के जवाब आप खुद ही जान जाएंगे.
एक्सपेक्टेशंस पे प्लीज कुछ जरूर.
जी, आई थिंक हमारे बगल में ही जो खड़े उन्होंने हाल ही में भूल भुलैया 2 भी किया, तो ही इज समबडी हु जस्ट स्पोक वेरी ऑनेस्टली दैट इट इज अबाउट गेटिंग पीपल टू द थिएटर्स. जब हमने ये फिल्म शुरू की थी हमें नहीं पता था फ्रेंचाइजेस इस तरह थिएटर्स में प्यार के साथ आएंगी. आई वर्क विद मोहित सूरी बिफोर, सो आई वाज कंफर्टेबल नोइंग कि हाफ गर्लफ्रेंड के बाद मैं फिर से कर सकता हूँ. एक्सपेक्टेशन इतनी थी कि पिक्चर जो उन्होंने लिखी है उससे बेटर ही बनेगी. बेस्ट चीज अबाउट मोहित इज एंड द एक्सपेक्टेशन दैट ऑल ऑफ यू आल्सो हैव फ्रॉम मोहित सूरी इज हिज म्यूजिक सूरी. आई थिंक उनका जो म्यूजिक है वो अपने आप में एक ब्रांड वैल्यू बन चुका है, एंड ही इज हियर, ही कैन टेल यू दैट. वो जब स्क्रिप्ट देते तो साथ में गाने देते थे. आपको स्क्रिप्ट आप पढ़ो या ना पढ़ो, आप गाने सुन ही लेते हो और आप बोलते हो ये पिक्चर तो करनी ही पड़ेगी. सो आई थिंक द ऑडियंस हैज दैट एक्सपेक्टेशन, एंड मोहित उस एक्सपेक्टेशन कभी मतलब खारिज नहीं होने देता. ही ऑलवेज डज अ गुड जॉब विद द म्यूजिक. सो द म्यूजिक क्रिएट्स द एक्सपेक्टेशन फॉर मोस्ट ऑफ Mohit's films. This film is an extension of the love the first one got, but it's a new story. Yes, you can say there is expectation, but I think we are all very, very aware of the time we are in, and the film has to be good as a film also. शायद जिन्होंने ना पहली वाली ना भी देखो, मुझे लगता है they can also enjoy this film without knowing everything about the first film. So in that sense, it is a continuation of the world, but not reliant only on the first film. There is a uniqueness that the same director has managed to bring about with all our characters.
Hi. जैसे आपने कहा, एक सेकंड दिशा, एक क्वेश्चन मेरा आपके लिए है. आपको हमने इंस्टाग्राम पे बैक फ्लिप से लेके और मार्शल आर्ट से लेके और बहुत कुछ करते हुए देखा है. यहाँ पे 2 लड़के फिल्मों में आपको बचा रहे हैं.
नहीं बचा नहीं रहे. ऐसा किसने बोल दिया आपको?
मैडम आपने खुद की स्टोरी आपने बताया.
तो मैं दिशा आपसे पूछना चाह रही हूँ, शायद
हम बच रहे इनसे और लड़ रहे कि भाई बहुत पहले भागेगा.
चलिए, तो आपने मुझे लग रहा है मुझे सस्पेंस बता ही दिया. बट दिशा, इतना अच्छा एक्शन आप अपने इंस्टाग्राम में करती हैं, फिल्म में करने को मिला है या नहीं, और कितना? वो देखने के लिए आप आइए.
वेरी गुड दिशा.
हाय टीम विलन. हाय टीम विलन. हाय जॉन. हाय दिशा. हाय अर्जुन सर. हाय सर. मेरा क्वेश्चन दिशा मैम आपसे है. मैम आप बहुत, पहले तो आज बहुत स्टनिंग लग रहे हैं, और दूसरी चीज मैं आपसे ये बोलना चाहती हूँ कि मैम आप बोल्ड सीन करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं मूवी के अंदर. कितना कंफर्टेबल रहा मूवमेंट ये सब करते हुए, क्योंकि बहुत मुश्किल होता है एक गर्ल के लिए इस टाइप के मूवमेंट सब कैप्चर हो रहे हैं.
मैं कर किसके साथ रही हूँ?
अरे वाह.
जॉन अब्राहम Well, it was very, very comfortable. He's someone, and Mohit sir and the whole team ensures that, I feel comfortable at every point. And to be honest, I mean, I'm getting to work with John. I have no complaints at all.
Thank you so much.
Hi everybody.
भूषण सर सर मेरा एक सवाल सर हिमांशु रसवाल दिस साइड
जी
सर अभी हम लोग जस्ट ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्म भूल भुलैया 2 से जस्ट उठे ही हैं अगेन एक और फिल्म आगे फ्रेंचाइजी है और अगर अगेन जो है अलग स्टारकास्ट के साथ है तो सर आगे और कितनी प्लानिंग है फ्रेंचाइजी और कितने कितने
हाँ सर हमें भी बताइए बहुत सारी प्लानिंग है कब
एक आज तक अगर आप रिवील कर दें इसके बाद क्या क्या
अभी धीरे धीरे अनाउंस करेंगे तब आपको रिवील होता रहेगा, लेकिन काफी अच्छी फ्रेंचाइजीज हैं जो हम वर्क कर रहे हैं, सून अनाउंस करेंगे।
मैं कल इनसे मिलता हूँ परसों आपको बताता हूँ कौन सी सेंड कर रहा हूँ।
Hi everybody, this is Ishika from Hindustan Darpan. मेरा क्वेश्चन जॉन सर आपसे है और अर्जुन सर आपसे है। जॉन सर, ऑब्वियस क्वेश्चन है, जिस तरह रणवीर सिंह की फोटो सामने आई है, न्यूड फोटो है, आपकी भी फोटोज हमने एक दौर में देखी थी।
फोटो नहीं, आपने फिल्म ही देखी।
फिल्म नहीं है सर, लेकिन फोटोज आप बहुत वायरल हुए थे उस टाइम इस चीज को लेकर कि ये ट्रेंड अब आ रहा है। क्या लग रहा है अब आपको कि रणवीर सिंह ने न्यूड पिक्चर डाली है तो दोबारा एक ट्रेंड शुरू हो सकता है, क्योंकि बॉलीवुड में सब आई सपोर्ट रणवीर करके सारे सामने आ रहे हैं।
I answered this just yesterday. Sorry, day before, ma'am. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
इशिका।
इशिका, ये मैंने परसों ही हमने इस बारे में बात की थी। फिर से दोहरा देता हूँ because we are here. I think रणवीर सिंह ऐसे शख्स है जो भी करते हैं अपनी पर्सनालिटी की वजह से करते हैं। He is that person that is always the way he is. कोई दिखावा नहीं है। If he is happy doing what he's doing, if it's done aesthetically, and if it is something that is coming from a very genuine place of him having to showcase how comfortable he is with his body, I think opinions are fair, like I always say, but that does not mean it has to get into forcing your opinion down somebody's throat. He has every right to enjoy entertaining people in whichever way he seems like doing, and we should not give it too much importance. You know, we should look at the positive. At least आज हम लोग यहाँ हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है जो हम अगर नेगेटिव देखना चालू करेंगे तो हम नेगेटिव बातें ही करेंगे। We should just accept it as a part of his expression and move on. I think, and may I dare say this, it doesn't matter what sex the person is eventually. If he or she is open to being photographed a certain way or not being, we should accept all. We should not make it a big deal, bigger deal than what it is already in society. You know, clothes in itself create a big issue and a discussion. So I think I request all of you all, let's accept things. Let's not make it a debate when there is none. And genuinely there is not one. So
I also want to tell you there are a lot of unedited portions of Dostana which you have not. Edited portions, sorry.
We would love to see that.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't, Ishika? Who wouldn't? Hello.
Hi, John.
Akash this side. From Filmy. Arjun this side. अच्छा आकाश आपको तो बोल आकाश कोई नहीं सर
Hi John. Hi Arjun. This is Ravi from PTI.
Hi Ravi.
So my question to you guys is that Akshay in a recent episode of Coffee with Karan discussed that how he find it difficult to find a co-star for his next movie, and he and Karan attributed this to insecurity among the actors. So what kind of experiences you guys had in two hero projects, and do you agree with him that?
See, with me, you can't even ask me that question. After Dostana, where Abhishek was my love interest. So, but personally, I'm talking about myself. I've loved my association with Arjun, with Varun, with Abhishek, with Akshay. I've done 3 films. I mean, I love Akshay. I love him to death, and I think he's probably right to an extent. But I think there are places where we can make things happen, and the new generation, the younger lot is, I think, more willing. I'm assuming. So I don't see that as an issue.
I mean, in all fairness, sir, I've done Gunde, I did Bhoot Police, I've always believed ensemble films are a great one because I've grown up watching the Subhash Ghai cinema. I've seen Anil Chachu do 2 hero films where John is talking about, he's done so many. So I think that sort of cinema does exist. Perhaps Akshay has a point that it's become tougher to convince people about the value that they bring and what they're getting on script because there's a lot of trust involved. I think more than insecurity, you have to also trust the people you're working with. So in this film, for example, because perhaps I've also worked with Mohit and John has also worked, there is a certain amount of trust and regard. So I think if the right people come together, to make ensembles. When you know the producers, you know that if there is anything, where there is something that needs to be handled, will be handled with some grace. The film industry does need more ensembles. It needs, and I'm not saying two heroes and two heroines. वो बहुत अजीब लगता है कि हम सिर्फ वही बात करते हैं. For me, Finding Fanny was an ensemble. For me, doing Two States was also an ensemble. You have Ronin Ram such an important role, Amrita Singh. When you do a Mubaraka, it is a pure ensemble. There's so many people. So I think what needs to be celebrated is actors feeling happy being on set to make bigger and better films. It safeguards the producer's interest. You have the director able to make a film the way it's supposed to be made. So I guess I understand Akshay sir's point to some degree, but I believe it is changing, and it has to change for us to be able to actually deliver those numbers and that volume of business. I feel you need face value to bring people into the theatre. So I think जो 80s का दौर था, 70s का दौर था, या 90s, and maybe even the early phase of 2000 when he came, I think it's coming back for the right reasons. So hopefully Akshay sir won't be too disappointed in the future when he goes out. I'm free from January, just let him know.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Nobody got that.
Disha ma'am, Akash this side from filmkira.com.
Hi.
Hi ma'am. So ma'am, we all always missed you and we love you in our movies. तो आपकी movies टाइगर सर के साथ भी पहले आती थी, but काफी टाइम से हम आपको साथ नहीं देख पा रहे हैं. तो मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि क्या आप कभी क्या नेक्स्ट आप टाइगर सर के साथ कोई मूवी कुछ ऐसा कर रहे हैं. और भूषण सर से मेरा अगला सवाल है. भूषण सर से मेरा ये सवाल है सर कि अभी जब कार्तिक आर्यन जो भूल भुलैया 2 जो रिलीज हुई थी, जो ब्लॉकबस्टर है, तो लाइट का फ्लैश आ रहा है फर्स्ट आ रही थी. तो जब ये मूवी हिट होगी तो इसका कास्ट को क्या मिलेगा? अर्जुन, जॉन,
क्या लोगे बताओ.
मुझे अच्छी स्क्रिप्टें चाहिए.
परफेक्ट.
उनको बोल चुका मुझे अच्छी स्क्रिप्टें दे दिया करो. And John has too many bikes.
मैं तो भूषण की तरफ ही देख रहा हूँ.
Bikes तो you always take as a good luck.
I always take. I mean, I love motorcycles, so that's it. So Bhushan's given me a couple of motorcycles in the past, always. So I enjoy that.
मैम आपने बताया नहीं कुछ.
अच्छा
आप गिफ्ट क्या चाहती वो नहीं आप बताइए.
नहीं गिफ्ट नहीं मैम, टाइगर सर के साथ.
फिलहाल तो नहीं सर, बट होपफुली सून.
Sure. And what gift would you like to have?
बात भी बता दो.
जो सर चाहे.
हेलो,
Thank you ma'am.
Hello, who's speaking? Hello.
आई एम छवि फ्रॉम मायापुरी. मेरा सवाल सर अर्जुन सर आपसे है कि आप इस फिल्म में जो शूट वगैरह हुआ है, सबसे ज्यादा टफ मोमेंट आपके लिए क्या था और सबसे ज्यादा मेमोरेबल भी?
It was a tough film, a physically tough film because of the action. I think the toughest moment is doing the climax because it's an emotional climax in the sense there is पूरी film का एक जो emotional रस है वो ऊपर के आता है. It's a big conflict. So I think that was the toughest. For me, the nicest memories, I guess, when you're coming back to set to do a film like this after COVID, just the fact that we could be on a set of such a big film, the way it was mounted by the producers, the vision of the director. You know, I started out with working with doing Ishika, then doing Tevar with my father, Gunde, Two States. You want to feel like you're entering a cinematic space even on a set. You know, you feel larger than life on the set that is created. And I think tremendous credit to the producers. They made me feel like we are making a film that deserves to be made at that stature and that level. So I think for me, that was the most memorable part of being on set for this film after about 1.5 years of not being able to shoot.
Hello, sirs, ma'am. This is here. I'm Shelly Agarwal from 10 News, and congratulations for your film. We hope it's a blockbuster.
We hope so too.
Yes, I'm sure it would have been great working together, all of you. So, can you please share one thing that you like and tolerate about each other?
Let John see. John's our senior available.
See, I think with Disha, and me hit it off. We're very comfortable with each other from the start because we share the same fitness goals. So everything's pretty normal between two of us. We talk like we actually don't discuss much of the film till we get onto the shot. So I think we are very comfortable with each other, and I really like Disha because she's an animal lover also, and she's a big animal lover. And for me, anybody who's an animal lover, I'm so happy. With Arjun, he's what you see is what you get. He's a very honest person, very honest, very positive, and a very nice person. He doesn't have a bad bone in his body. And I think हमारे जो industry में इतना, like someone said, there's a lot of insecurity, XYZ, whatever. This boy is secure, and that's what's nice about him. And if he has a problem, he'll come and talk to you about it. So that's what I really loved about him. And Tara's not here. Tara, which I don't know whether very few people know, Tara's my family friend. So In fact, she knows more about my family sometimes than I do. So I've seen Tara grow up, and I'm seeing Tara in the film with me. So it was a nice experience watching her. A good girl, very talented, and a fantastic singer. So it was nice having all of them on the set. With Ekta, I've done Shootout at Badala, so I'm very comfortable with her. With the Mani Asurve role, Bhushan and I have done so many films. We're doing so many films together. So he's my 2 a.m. friend. 1:30 in the morning we spoke, right, Bhushan? 1:30 in the morning we spoke this morning. Yeah, Bhushan. You need to talk to somebody sometimes. I pick up the phone and I call him, and we have conversations about film, commercials, kaise kare. Just feelings that we have to, expect before we come out. Because whether we expect it or not, see, all of the media, we're the actors on this side. There's always this line drawn, So we want to cross that line, and we don't want it to feel like there is animosity or there's a problem. And we always want to reach out, and I speak for all of us. We all want to reach out. We love our audiences. There's a lot of respect that we have for our audiences. So we want to reach out through you guys. So we speak about little things like that, and we know because of social media, there's a lot of pressure on deliveries and how you're going to do, and films get trashed 5 days before, So for us, it's very important to reach out and tell people, we've worked very hard, very honestly, and we've tried to make a good film. And Mohit Suri, and I'm just saying this again, I'm not trying to market the film. He's a damn good director. And for me, I've gone back to my first film was a film called Jism with Bhatt Saab. Uske baad Etbar with Vikram Bhatt. So my filmmaking. So I've really enjoyed my time. So it's been a lovely experience. Sorry, long answer, but I got everything out.
We'll take one last question now.
Hi John. This is Pradeep from TV9 Bharatvarsh.
Where are you?
This is
sorry.
John, आपकी स्टेटमेंट आई थी कि आपको
I've not made that statement.
नहीं,
I don't make that
भी
statement.
बस था आपने
नहीं, मैंने कुछ statement नहीं किया.
Let's talk about the current film that we are on right now.
I won't comment on this.
Bhushan sir, I think.
Can we talk about the current film that we are here right
Yes,
now?
मेरा सवाल भूषण सर से है. जी. सर.
दीपिका जी आप.
जी. भूषण सर, ये जो 2022 आया है, बहुत सारे अलग-अलग सेक्शंस की फिल्में काम कर रही हैं. भूलभुलैया तो हमारे पास है ये. मुझे आपसे ये जानना था, कई सारे प्रोड्यूसर्स की ये बात सामने आई कि अपनी फिल्मों को, क्योंकि ऑडियंस का टेस्ट कोरोना के बाद चेंज हुआ है, कुछ चल रहा है, कुछ नहीं चल रहा है, बड़ी-बड़ी बजट की फिल्में भी गिर रही हैं. आप भी क्या इस प्रोसेस को मानते हैं कि हमें फिल्मों के रिलीज या शूटिंग के दौरान ये जो एजेंसीज हैं जिनके थ्रू हम चेक करवाते हैं कि ऑडियंस को क्या पसंद आ रहा है, क्या नहीं आ रहा, इस तरह का प्रोसेस क्या आप अपने प्रोडक्शन हाउस में करते हैं, या इट्स ऑल अबाउट क्रिएटिव प्रोसेस एंड
नहीं, इट्स अ क्रिएटिव प्रोसेस. हमें कोई एजेंसी देखिए ये आपको कभी एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकती है कि ये फिल्म थिएटर में चलेगी या OTT पे चलेगी. वो आपको खुद फिगर आउट करना पड़ता है. जो आप रेगुलरली जब जैसे सिनेमा अपना थिएटर में आएगा या OTT पे आएगा, उस तरीके से किस तरीके से ऑडियंस रिएक्ट करेगी, तभी आप वो जज कर पाएंगे. एंड दैट्स
John sir.
See, I mean, I really don't believe in any agency that way, because they are most of the time they are wrong also. So it's not कि वो जो बोलते हैं वही सच होता है.
Hello everyone, we have the last photo up now. Last picture please. Hello everyone.
Photos. Wait.
Thank you so much everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for.
तो यहाँ आपने देखा एक विलन रिटर्न्स की पूरी स्टार कास्ट का मूवी को लेकर क्या कहना था. आपके नज़दीकी थिएटर्स में ये मूवी 29 जुलाई को रिलीज़ हो रही है. आपको ये मूवी कितनी पसंद आती है और आपका इस वीडियो को लेकर क्या कहना है, हमें इस वीडियो के कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर बताइएगा. कैमरा पर्सन याशिका के साथ मैं इशिका, हिंदुस्तान दर्पण.